Number 12, a student questioned how the properties of different materials affect the speed of sound waves traveling through them. The student found the following data in a chemistry handbook for the speed of sound in gases, liquids, and solids. So let's take a look at this. If you notice, as a sound wave travels through a gas, it seems to travel slowest through the gas. And you can tell because if you look at these numbers, these are the smallest numbers for density and also for the speed of sound. But then as you notice, as it goes through a liquid, that sound wave actually speeds up. How can I tell? Because I'm looking at these numbers right here and I can see that the sound wave speeds up. And then as I look through a solid, the sound wave actually travels the fastest through a solid just by looking at this diagram right here. So now the student analyzes the data to make predictions about the speed of sound on materials with various densities and states of matter. Which two predictions can be made based on the data shown in the table? So let's take a look. A, the speed of sound generally increases as it moves from gases to liquids to solids. So as I stated earlier, it does actually generally increase. So the first answer choice is A. B, the speed of sound generally increases as it moves from liquids to gases to solids. So B would not be true. C, the speed of sound generally increases as it moves from solids to gases to liquids. And actually, that would not be true because that's saying sound waves travel fastest in gases, which the data does not show that. These numbers are the lowest for gases. D, as the density of liquids and solids increase, the speed of sound generally increases. So if we look at this, if we look at the density as we go down, it's showing that it's increasing for the liquid, but then if we look for a solid, it's generally not increasing, so it wouldn't be D. Look at E. As the density of gases and liquids increases, the speed of sound generally decreases. So now if you look at this, the speed of sound generally increases as it goes through the density, as it becomes more dense, the speed of sound increases. So it can't be E. And then look at F. As the density of solids and gases increases, the speed of sound generally decreases. So let's take a look at that. So if we look at this, look at the density. As the solid became more dense, the speed of sound actually slowed down. Look at this. As the gas became more dense, the speed of sound actually slowed down. So this is actually true for both parts. So our answer choice will be A and F. 13. The table below gives the densities of air and water. Using the data in the table, describe how a light wave changes as it travels from air into the water. So if you notice, the density of air is slowest at 0.00123, but for water is actually the fastest. So now let's see what matches up with that. A, it slows down because water is less dense than air. That's not true because water molecules are actually more tightly packed than air molecules. So this one is not true. B, it slows down because water is more dense. Once again, it does not slow down because water is. Let's look at B. It slows. Number 14. The table shows the speed of sound in fresh water and salt water. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at the speed of sound. Remember, it travels fastest in solids and travels slowest in gases. So, I'm going to put SLG. I'm going to put fastest in solids. So, I'm going to put an up sign, direction going up, and then it goes the slowest in gases. So, now it asks, which statement best describes why sound waves travel faster in salt water than in fresh water? So if you look at it, they do travel faster in salt water than fresh water, but why? Let's look at it. A, salt water is hotter than fresh water, so that does not have anything to do with it. Let's look at B. Fresh water is less dense than salt water. So salt water actually contains more particles in it. So that means the salt water particles are more densely packed than the freshwater particles, which are more spread out. So our answer choice would actually be B. C. Fresh water has greater elasticity than salt water. That does not have anything to do with it. And then D. Salt water exists in a different phase than fresh water. Absolutely not. Both of them are liquids, so our answer choice is B. 15. What causes light to slow down? So if you know anything about refraction, refraction causes light waves to speed up or slow down as they travel through different mediums. So let's look at that. A, moving into a vacuum, no. B, moving into a lighter medium. If it's a lighter medium, it would actually speed up. C, moving into a less adhesive medium. No, doesn't have anything to do with it. And then D, moving into a denser medium. So when light waves go from a lighter medium into a denser medium, they actually slow down because it's harder for them to pass through. So the answer choice is D.